Hey YouTube, how you going? Welcome to another video. We're going to continue because we're on a bit of a roll with our testing functionality. If this is your first time watching my video, I'm building a new startup from scratch and I'm documenting literally every step of the journey. So from day zero. At the moment, I don't necessarily have an idea or a project that I'm pursuing. So I've started by building out a lot of the logic to do with the user registration and login functionality using Node.js on the backend. And we're doing it using AI to accelerate the development lifecycle. If you've just watched my previous video, I was creating some new tests for our password reset functionality, and we've kind of stumbled on, well, not stumbled on, we've slowly worked our way towards getting Claude to be much more user-friendly from a testing point of view. So if you've watched some of my earlier videos, you'll know that Jest, which is our testing framework, was really struggling quite a lot with the tests that we wanted it to do. So we've just finished off that password reset functionality. I want to move on to this email verification functionality. So we've got our Claude project here, and we've got our project knowledge base. Within this knowledge base, we have a couple of files, one talking about our Express JS error handling capability. So in Express.js 5, there's a different error handling approach than Express.js 4. We've got some information on our folder structure, and we've also got some information on validation error handling and the use of validation chains. So we're going to move on, and we're going to try and go a couple in a row here, 2 in a row, and well, actually 3 in a row, because we've also done our profile testing, and create some tests for the email verification functionality. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come over here to our knowledge base, and I'm just going to check, yeah, we've got our email verification capabilities here. I'm just going to delete those files, and I'm going to instead upload them again, just to make sure that Claude is working with the most up-to-date code. There's no automated way to sync this currently. So it is a bit of a manual approach, and we'll start a new chat. I'm just going to paste in the same message from before that we had for our password reset testing. So what we're going to ask is we are adding new tests to our application. We want to test our email verification controller, email verification routes, and email verification services file. Remember, we do all testing with Jest. We do not remember, we use our services directly and do not mock API calls and responses. Remember that we also use MongoDB memory server rather than a separate test database connection. So they're all really important. In our password reset test functionality, though, we did mock our email service. So we might tell it that it is okay to do that. So we will say it is, however, okay to mock our email service from that is in I don't know. Does it know it's in our utils folder? It should. That is in our utils folder. Please ensure you follow our Express 5 error handling instructions and validation error handling docs, which are in your project knowledge and contain important information about how we want us to set up our project and ensure consistent approaches for error handling and validation where required. Remember, we use validation chains as part of the validation process. Understanding this is important for how you write tests. Oh, sorry, I've already got that validation chain stuff there. Please let me know if you have any questions before writing the code. So adding that has proven to be quite helpful. So we'll go with that. Okay. Okay, so great questions. I'm glad we asked. So in our email verification controller, we're not validating. What would we need to validate? Email verification service. So let's ask it. I'll help provide comprehensive tests for the email verification module. Looking at the provided files, we'll need to test. Yeah, that'll make sense. Notice our email verification routes doesn't show validation chains. There is no need for that, I don't think. Validation. Okay. Yes, please provide the code to add validation chains to routes file. So let's see, 1, 2, no, authentication is not needed for all routes. The user may not be logged in when clicking the verify email link due to any other reason. Let's leave it at that. Schedule a service, yes. 3, yes. Yes, oh my god. Oh, no, the scheduler has quite extensive delays. Service. Where's the scheduler service? So in the scheduler service, the scheduler service don't mind all these red lines, these are just pretty errors. I'm trying to remember where the functionality is for how, date, job date, plus delay. Yes, however, in the logic in our app, the delays between the calling of each service in a real life scenario. So we would need to be able to test all functionality without needing to wait for the time delay. Yes, please include tests for the new for the relevant validation chains. Okay, so I think we should be in a good position with that. Took a little bit longer than the other one, so anyway, let's just see what it comes back with. So we're going to add so verify email, resend verification, and get user tokens. We need to update our routes to use those verification chains. So let's do this first. I will bring Claude over here and continue with my current approach of trying to do most of the coding in front of you. Well, cutting and pasting anyway. So we go to our validation chains file, and here we also need to bring in param, and then we've got email verification chains, which is a brand new one. So we're going to copy all of this. I'm going to paste this here. And then we are going to export along with the other. Never done it that way. I think that can be reformatted. Validation chains, registration. Verify email. Yeah, why can't this just be... So let's just undo that for a sec. We are just going to take this, cut that, put that there, get rid of that, save that, and then in our email verification routes, we validation chains. So we're going to bring in our request. Right, yes, validate request is cool. And then we're going to go. Actually, this is just going to be validation chains because we changed it slightly. Validation chains, and then so verify email has email verification. So got validation chains dot verify email validate request and email verification controller. Okay, I think this is a prettier. Yep. So fix this. Then on our post, we've got the same, except instead of verify email, we have resend verification. And then on the get route, we've got authenticate, and we've got these two again. And instead of get user tokens, sorry. We've made a bit of a mistake. So for the get route, it's meant to be verify email. For the post route, it's meant to be resend verification. And then for the get route, yeah, get user tokens. Okay, so save that. All right. Yes, please create the tests. Please, however, create them in all one file titled email verification .test. Alrighty, I'll leave that here for a sec. So we mock our email service again. Cool, just copy that. So it's saying test token generation, email sending, email verification, token management, all endpoints for validation, authentication where required, success and error cases, complete verification flow, scheduler, integration, token lifecycle, using MongoDB memory server, mocks email service, test validation chains, follows our error handling patterns, test both success and fail cases, and includes integration tests. So we can now create a new file, email verification.test.js, and we'll paste this code in here. We'll save that. We will just check here what's wrong. So in our routes, verify email. Oh, sorry, this is not email. Sorry, this is meant to be email verification. Chains verify email. Validation chains verify email. Validation chains. Verify email. Validation chains. What am I missing? Save validation. Double checking myself there. Validation chains. Verify email. Not exactly sure here. Unable. So if we go to email verification routes, if we just compare this, for example, to our password reset routes, in password reset, we bring in from the validate request middleware. So in here, get rid of it here. Email verification is not defined. Email verification controller. Spell right. Oh, sorry, this is meant to be validation chains. This is meant to be validation chains. Let me just check one thing. So validate request comes after. Yep. Okay, that should work. Okay, so now we go to our test file, and instead of our profile, we are now testing email-verification dot test. Oh, sorry, that's the folder, and then email verification dot test dot JS. We'll run that, and we'll see what comes back. Okay, 13 passed, 7 fell. So, start from the top. Should throw an error for non-existent user ID. Promise received, promise resolved instead of rejection. Email verification service. Oh, okay. No, hang on, it's a bit different. Expect validation. Should fail with missing token. Okay, so we are going to try and resolve these quicker, that's not even a word, quicker than in the past. There's a few more issues than with our profile and forgot password test. So I'm going to say before we got these errors when running the code. Before you respond with any new code, please explain what is happening, what is causing these errors. Okay, so the test expects the service to throw an error when given a non-existent user ID, but looking at the service code doesn't check if the user exists before generating a token. Okay, so if we go to generate verification. Yeah, so here we've got our generate verification token. Yeah, it doesn't actually, it checks if there's no token. Which would mean there's no, yeah, okay. Okay, validation mismatch. So this test expects 1 validation error but receives 2. Okay, so let's go for 1. Please provide the updated code for our service. For 2, please adjust our test case to match what our validation chain provides. For both, you already verified. Okay, for 3, please explain where this mismatch is occurring. For 4, all three auth tests are failing because we're trying to access the logins failed. Okay, so let's look at the email verification test. So it could be one of a couple of things. Either the login route isn't properly set up in our test environments. So let's go to log. That's correct. Yeah. For okay, it did provide more context. I should have read further on. For let's use the registration service to create a test. Alright, so this is a straightforward fix. In our email verification service, we are just testing if there is a user. Verification token. User ID. Okay. Yep. Then nothing else that changes there. Alright, for the validation test, we should update our expectation to match both errors. So it should fail with the missing token. It's in our email verification tests. So verify email, validation failed. I don't actually know if, looking at it now, obviously it's saying that both are wrong. Okay, hang on, we're gonna ask it to, sorry, for number 2. Doesn't specs. Can we have a different validation chain validation occur for each different use case? It would be better to return the message invalid token format when the token format is wrong, and then a different message if there is then the verification token is required message if the verification token is missing. Okay, so we've got to update our email verification controller. So if we resend verification, yeah, so what we were doing here is we were just throwing in resend new, not found, no, we were doing right. Resend verification email. If no user, throw new, not found error. Just say for number 3, our email verification, our resend verification email controller is already structured that way. Please provide more advice. And then for number 4, for the authentication tests, we should update our before each to use the registration service. Okay, so before each, so we do all this. Let's just go from over there. Okay, what I might do before we hit send, I might just see how many tests fail. We're still going to have quite a few, I think, hopefully less than 7, but let's find out. Well, okay, that didn't help. What we're going to do is we're going to undo that for a second, save that. We are then going to just do these two first. So we should structure it to have distinct validation. Okay, so bring this. I'm trying to remember to keep it on the code. So for our validation chains, we have our verify email, query token. We should still trim it. Query, yeah, sorry, query. Trim. Get rid of that. Okay. Save that. Now we should have 2 separate test cases. So what was there missing? It should fail with missing token. It should fail with invalid token format. We do have 2. Weird. Okay. Errors, token, copy. Alright, then we here for the error status mismatch, if the controller is correctly throwing errors but we're still getting 400, we should check. App.use, okay, let's double check that. App.js. Yeah. Check that our error middleware is correctly mapping errors. Error middleware. Yep. Yep. Verify custom classes are set. Status codes, error types. So what are we missing here? Anything? 400. Not found is a 404. Yep. Add logging to track the error flow. So resend. Where is that resend? Verification. Controller. Oh, we've got that. Const user, phone used by ID. User not found. And then that one. Alright, save that. Okay, we'll come back to that in a sec. Let's run the tests again. It's not able to read. Still quite a few, so I want to fix up this missing user in the validation service. Here we go. Sorry, it was a bit higher. For the tests that were failing for the auth tests. Instead of user let's ensure the password. We're going to be testing our registration functionality separately. So I'm just going to do that. Just hash the password here directly. I think it's causing some other issues. So we need to bring our code. And we will go to our before each. And we're going to do all of this. Down to here, save that. Then for the authentication test specifically, so we need to find F authenticated, before each. Save that. Yeah. Seven failed again. We're going to say, without writing code, so yeah, without writing code, please explain what's happening with these errors still. Okay, so for one, let's update our test expectations. For two, let's check our route handlers. Login route. There might be an issue with the password hashing. For three, I think it's going to be the hashing. Let's check the password hashing. Let's also do your other recommendations of So we're just going to update this to throw error not found rather than a validation error. Sorry, throw not found error. Hang on, copied and pasted that wrong. Save that. Why is that not happy? Save. Okay. Route handlers. So email verification routes. So we've got our validate request. Verification, verify email. We called it something different, but that's fine. To our validation chains. Our validate request file is structured like this. Is this relevant? Don't write any code. Nice at that. We'll come back to for password hashing. Let's check our test setup. So in our email verification, before each company ID, password. Where is verify password? Yeah, let's just copy this for a second. Just going to run the test again and see that console log on the hash password. User instance, not password. Before. Yeah, it can't do that. Okay. That console log of here, user instance dot password can't run because user instance is only defined after the console log. Alright. bcrypt is not defined. Once. Try again. This is taking a little bit longer. Six failed. Alright, so after hashing, and the passwords do match. Okay. Error handling check. So we go to error middleware. Just double check this. So we've got if res send return next. There's nothing wrong there. Validation chains registration. Okay. Validation chains. Validation result. app.js, we have so we've got 404 handler. So we've got our routes. Where are they? Routes. We've got our 404. Yep. Okay. So then I told it about that. Okay. Okay. For the authentication, password does get hashed and the password does match in the console. No. No. It's not going to be these. It's probably throwing an unhandled error. Okay. Okay, I think the recurring theme is that there is an issue with the error handling, or oh man, we've only got one message left, or how the error is being caught and transformed by our middleware. Please advise how to fix. All right. Okay, so app error. That's fine. Routes, that we've done that. This actually app.js 404 is slightly different. It's so annoying because we can't now ask it. Let's just go back up here. Yeah, so this is more similar to how it was structured, but we also were checking if the environment was development or not. That's really annoying. Error middleware. If it's sent. It could be that. I wonder if our error. But let me. It's not going to be on the. It's not going to allow me to keep talking on the same chat. So I can watch this back and then try and fix this later. I think the issue could be with the 404 error handler, or it could also be because our error middleware is slightly different, and I'm thinking it might be due to the fact that it has these separate validation errors. Maybe it's changing how the error is formatted. I'm not too sure, but that's where my guesses will end for the night on this particular task. So I'm going to wrap the video here. Thanks for watching. I feel like we're getting much faster at fixing these errors, but yeah, still a bit of work to go to get the tests set up and running, but I'll catch you in the next one. Hey YouTube, how you going? We're going to continue on with our finalizing our email verification testing. I had to pause because we run out of chat credits on Claude, So where we got off to was it came back with a couple of these areas as potential errors. I'm not going to implement these changes straight away. I'm just going to ask if it sees any issue with our 404 error handler and if there's any issue in the middleware. So our 404 handler is currently structured like this. Is this a potential cause of errors? And then say in our middleware, error middleware, we have our error middleware is currently structured like this. Are there any potential causes of the error? See what Claude comes back with. Okay, the current 404 handler ends the middleware chain with the response but doesn't pass control to their handler. Okay. Yeah, so thought that might have been the case. Well, not that specific case, but there might have been an error there. So let's fix that up. So we go to our app.js file. So app.use. Can I ask it? Okay, actually, so for the 404 handler, we were previously the best approach. Okay, so saying we do it this way. Alright, so error middleware. Alright, so we've got error middleware, still the same, error logger remains the same, status code remains the same. This changes slightly differently. Save. And we previously, if I bring this back over here, we had 6 tests fail, 14 pass. So let's try and run our tests again. Six fail. Oh man. Okay. We still get, hang on, I didn't miss anything. Okay, I currently, these errors, before writing any code, please explain what. Okay. Let me just check one thing. So component email verification. Let's do our password reset. These tests previously passed. I just want to check. Okay, so all of our password reset tests pass. So does this offer any insight? Then I want to end this chat because okay. Error handling middleware is working correctly. Validation changes set up. Errors are being properly caught. The password reset shows correct handling. Yep, this suggests the issue with email verification isn't with the middleware, the express setup, or the validation change. Either the email verification routes aren't properly integrated with the error handling system, or the email verification validation chains aren't properly registered, or the email verification controller isn't using the same error throwing patterns. The key insight is that our error handling infrastructure works, so we need to ensure, okay, let's do this. So here is our password reset routes, and here is our email verification routes. Does this highlight any issue? If not, we will then look at the controller. Okay. Hang on. No, sorry. Our validation chains are set up this way. Does this change your response? Oh, okay. Yep.
Okay, welcome back. Another video.
Okay, either okay, let's look at the controller. This is our email verification controller, and this is our password. Does this help identify? Yes, okay, here we go. I spotted the critical difference. How are we doing that? Oh my god, what a simple mistake. How did I not? It's really annoying that it doesn't kind of like tell you that. Yeah, I'm wondering how, I guess if I'd written the code, I probably would have picked up on that sooner rather than copy and pasting code. I think we just need to import it, but let's just double check. Added the error types import, yep, so we've done that. And then let's just check our controller. Email verification service, verify email, yep. Throw, yep. Validation error, yep. Okay. Hang on, what's this? Verification token? Verify, yep. Res.status, yep. Get user tokens, yep. Okay, so we've done that. I run the tests and we still get some errors. We still get some errors. Please review and explain why. Do not write any code. Yep. Alright. So this is okay, so we need to remove the check for the missing token in the controller. Okay. Please provide updated code for each issue. Hopefully this fixes it and then we can move off of. So I wonder in our password reset controller, email, verify email. Yeah, we shouldn't. Email. Resend verification. No user. User is verified. Da, da, da. That's all the same. Generate tokens. All right, test setup. So email verification. Before each, we've cleared our database. We create a test company that remains the same. We've got our user instance. Create a test user with proper password hashing. Yep. Yep. Log in to get the auth token. So we need to do please not save. So we just add this. Save that. Alright, let's update the validation chains. So verify email. Currently got query token. Trims exists fail. Okay. Change this. And then error middleware. What is added here? Let status code. Just gonna check one thing with this status code. Do we have that already? For the middleware, for the error middleware, shouldn't our app error handle the different error codes, status codes? Yeah, base customer. Yeah. Okay. We already define these in our error types here, I thought. I mean, I know we do. Okay. Error middleware, status code, we're already doing that. Okay, so great. Let's run the tests. I'll bring this over here. Great. Something didn't work. It's going to be in our login functionality. Password, sorry. Our login failed in test setup now. Why is this? Our login failed in the test setup. We're calling, okay, my bad. Saving it twice, what else are we doing? Okay, that I think was just a simple mistake, hopefully, with my cut and pasting. And we will run the tests again. Okay. Undefined reading of user.password. I think that should have been user instance.password. So let's run that again. Actually, no. Hang on. Let's just copy this. I think I've got things a little bit out of order. Okay. And what is going on? Login failed. Where's expires in? Okay, the login still failed. Here's. So after the highs of writing the profile and password reset tests, we've run into a few more issues here, obviously. Okay, the message, error message, yep, I get that. Okay. Let me do our environment variables. They should be set up already. Refresh. Token expiration. Yep, we've already got that. We've already got that. We've already. Okay. 864. Save. All right, let's try again. No, what is going on? If we look at password reset tests, Hang on. My bad. Alright. Try again. This is crazy. Test.setup. I had them in my come on, I don't want to use up all of my tokens just for this one issue. It's bizarre. So, email verification tests. Oh, hang on. Test setup. Already had that. Copy. Environment there. Oh my god, it ran, but and I got the console log, but because it has so many. Did I catch it in time? No. Login response. Get it? Okay. Auth environment check. And then say. Tried that. I already tried that before. We'll try again. Still failed. We know. Well, that's helpful, thank you. Alright, so email sync, clear the database, create the company user, which we do, save the user, single login attempt. Okay, so replace all of this. Save, and then remove the nested before each in the authenticated test section. Alright. Still failing. This is crazy. What we might do is, we don't log in for, do we log in? Where's login? No. Let's just do this. Hang on. Why would we login service? So token. Not really sure if it's that best practice, but anyway, we will run with this. Let's run the tests. They still fail. It still fails. It still fails. It still fails. There is no issue with our services. It has to be with our test functionality. You're right. It's not going to be this because okay, so if we, where is password? Let's go. Far out. hit our limit again. So annoying. Alright, we'll try and get this done. So before each email verification, user company verification token, for each save email verification service, email verification service. Run this, and if it doesn't work, unfortunately we've used up all of our messages again, and not that it matters too much because I do need to get to work. Alright, 4 failed. It's still the expires in, should be a number of seconds or string. Okay, so we kind of got back to where we started, I think, which is really frustrating. I really wanted to make some progress on this. We're going to stop the video there. Don't really know what else we can do at this point in time, so yeah, anyway, I do have to get to work, start my day, and we'll come back a little bit later on. Okay, we're going to continue on. Someone in my YouTube videos did recommend using Cursor. I have had a brief look at that beforehand and haven't been using it, but given we're still, it's my lunchtime here, so I'm just doing a little bit during my lunch break. And we have this limit on Claude until 3 p.m. I'm just going to try and use Cursor. So what I've done is I've downloaded Cursor, I've installed Cursor, and I've got it here. Now, I've watched 1 or 2 YouTube videos on it, but am no expert, obviously. So we're just going to see if we can prompt this in a good way to get us where we need to be. So I'm going to say we have other test files, like you can go at, profile and at password, which both pass 100%. In our at email verification test, we are getting test fail due to an issue with the login functionality. Where we get this error. And this error. Can you please advise on changes to fix these issues? Alright, so let's see what it does. Okay, so email verification test. What is it changing here? Modify the JWT sign options for each. Throw new error. So what do I do? Apply. Where are these changes? Okay. What did it change? Okay, here in this thing, stringify. Okay, that. Then in the email verification service, find user ID. Add this function. Why do we need to, okay, apply, accept, email verification controller, apply, whoa. So change, instead of saying if no user, it's checking if user. Apply those. Alright. What's it not happy with? Okay, save. And then I'll just run the tests from my other window and we'll see if that fixes the issues. No. More tests failed. Now more tests failed. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I think it's going to go down the rabbit hole of what the issues that we've had with previous testing with Jest, where it starts just trying to change the code base in 101 different areas when we know the functionality works for logging in users and sending the email verification, and we know the other tests work. So I want to go back to this. How do we undo these? Undo it all. Save. Oh, did we? Hang on. Let me just run the test then. Again, I'm not sure if I saved that services file. Still failed. Generate. Yeah. I'll keep that. Yeah, I'm not convinced. I know it's like a very pre-test, but I don't want to go down this rabbit hole of trying to use cursor and it's going to go change 101 files when we're really close to sorting it out with Claude. So I'm going to stop doing this. I'll stop this video and maybe we'll look at some other functionality or something in the meantime. Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video. We are continuing on with fixing or finishing up these email verification tests. So in the previous video, which may just all be appended here, we still have 4 tests failing. What I'm going to do though is we've been using Claude to help do this. Last time when I was working on this, we ran out of tokens, we hit our limit. So I'm just going to start a new chat because Claude says basically, yeah, if you have a really long chat, it uses your tokens quicker. So I'm going to say, please remember your project knowledge, in particular the files that speak to our validation chains and error handling approach using async await functionality provided by Express JS v5, where we pass errors to next. I have a file for email verification tests, and we currently have 4 tests which are failing. Here is the test file. Here are the details of the failing tests. Here are the details of the failing tests. Please do not write any code yet. Let me know what other information or files you need to view so you can correctly work out the issue you have. Thanks. Okay, so based on the failing test, I see 2 distinct issues. Non-existent user test failure. I'm expecting 404 but getting 500. This suggests error handling for not found error isn't working correctly. Okay. Let's do this then. Email verification controller. Here is the email verification.controller.js file. Don't do anything yet. I will give you the files. Validation request. Oh my god. It might just be this simple. Email the not found is no, that's not gonna be right because hang on, let me think about this. So yeah, so we didn't have the import. Okay, let's test that. Okay, should be a number, should be a number. Okay, great. Okay, great. With that fixed that error. Here are the here. Okay, log in. And then they want our environment variables. Interesting. I see the issue. In login.service.js, there's an inconsistency in how we're handling token expiration. Code is trying to use environment variables. You are correct. So MFA. Okay. Let me just check one thing. Just doing this off screen so I don't have to hide my Mongo URI password again. let's check that. Two failed. Okay. So, should fail with invalid authentication. Received a 500 instead of 401. And then should get user token successfully. Expected, received to have. Okay. So, you are correct. There was a missing variable in our .env.test file. It fixed those errors, but we now get these. Please let me know what files you wish to view. Okay, the token count test value. Test expects 1 token but receives 2. Okay. For issue 1, let's update the test. For the here is auth.js, and here is okay. For the tests, yep, okay, we can do that. So, verification test, and we're looking for okay, should get token successfully, so we're going to update response.body.success to have length of 2 instead of 1, and then update to check that both tokens exist. So we expect response.body.data to have length of 2. Yep. Okay, and then for the authentication, the issue is in the error handler of jwt.verify in auth.js. We're not catching the jwt. Okay, so auth, and then check the token expiry. We've got that. We need to write the no. Why do we need a try catch block? Trying to use a consistent approach. We'll just check in case there's a reason. Okay. We'll do this. Okay. Just telling it what option we're using, even though it gave us the code. Okay. So now we need to update this. Fix auth.js. Yeah, we've just done that, obviously. And then in the test, sorry, should get user token successfully. Okay. It should copy that. Save that. Okay, let's run the tests. One fail. Bearer token. Okay. I implemented those changes. We now just get one more error. Please let me know what files you need. Okay, so error types. Here is error types. Here is error. Error. There's error middleware. And auth.js. Okay, we might get there hopefully with this. I did give some consideration just while I was doing this to doing more of a test-driven development approach where we write the test first and then build the functionality. My only concern with that is that I'd have to like tell AI that we're going to build services and how those services are going to be named so that it can do it right. I don't really know if that's going to be quicker. So anyway, I'll give some more thought to that. Okay. Okay. So. They're wrapping this part in a try-catch, but the broader function is still a sync await, which should then do. In the try-catch, we throw unauthorized error. Okay. I'm going to trust that Claude's right in this instance that we do need a try-catch block. Obviously, if it helps the test pass, which it just has done, that's great. I don't think it takes us away from our error handling approach with Express.js 5 because we are still using async await and we're only using a try-catch to throw an error in this specific situation. But yeah, I'm not experienced enough to kind of comment on the pros and cons of how to achieve that, if this is just kind of like a workaround to get it to work and if there's a better approach, or if it really truly is required to do that while still maintaining our best practices for error handling. Anyway, all of the tests passed, which is fantastic. So that's really good. I would commit these changes, but there's a video that I've kind of recorded in between these where I started working on some new functionality when I hit some Claude limits. So I'm not going to commit the code just yet. I'll commit it all in one go with the other code on the new piece of functionality that we're working on. But look, it's really good to get that working. I think lost track a little bit of all of the different tests that we've fixed now. So maybe just quickly npm run test. There's going to be a bunch that fail still because there's a heap of files that we haven't updated. But if memory serves me correctly, wow. Okay. Yeah, so I think it's we've got to go back and fix our login tests. And then we've done profile, we've done password reset, we've done email verification, they all work. MFA doesn't have any tests. And then registration. I can't remember if we fixed up our registration tests. Login. well, no, most of the registration, what's this, percent branch, yeah, functions lines, okay. We must have done registration because they're all passing. So it's the login stuff, which is going to also impact the MFA stuff. So they're failing, and then we've also got to update our user, well, not just our user model, but our model tests. And then we also have to update, I think, some of the tests that we're doing on the middleware. Cool. So we will slowly work through those tests and get them done. But for now, I'm going to finish the video here and maybe move on to that functionality I was talking about. Thanks for watching.